thank you all for organizing this and that too in Australia. India and Australia are sharing some very warm relationship with each other, and celebrating friendship through art is something which I, as a Minister of Culture and External Affairs, the kind of charge I have is amazing. So I wanted to thank Honorable Mr. Jason Wood and Ramakrishna ji, and all the uh, people who are associated with arts and craft, and taking up a subject like Tanjore paintings is personally for me amazing, for the
Thank you.
simple reason that a continuous art form gets to be selected and worked upon in modern world, and is one of the surviving memories of tangible art form but intangible stories, which mankind has heard and is part of history, as we call it, whatever be the others take on this by calling it mythology. But irrespective of that, these are stories which reverberate in human mind for centuries.
Yeah.
And those stories are the ones which get depicted through this art form.
Yeah.
Those who are uninitiated in the art form and are hooked on to today's presentation, I would like to tell them the little story about this art form. One that in India, the walls of the temples used to be decorated with murals, and Indians were the ones who would maybe live in thatched roof but decorate their gods, and with gold and precious and semi-precious stones.
Yeah.
But by the Middle Ages, we were getting plundered repeatedly, and thus the temples were getting destroyed. So, to secure the art form, to tell the stories, to tell the narratives, human mind came up with the idea of having a detachable format from murals on the walls. It came down to the wooden planks on which a 3D picture could be made by using gesso and colors and sticking gums to canvas to wood, everything precious and semi precious stones, nevertheless, and the gold leaf. So, with this 3D art form of a kind of a painting put on a wooden plank with a canvas sheet on top, was a new art form in that sense. And Vijayanagar Empire, as people who know history, was one of the richest places where this art form was initially patronized and created. And subsequently, because there were two communities, Rajus and Naidus, which used to engage in this art form, migrated to other parts, though it's known more as Tanjore painting, which is, or Thanjavur for that matter, which is another area in Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
But it all started in Vijayanagar Empire. And during the earlier period, 14th, 15th century, the Nayaks and the Marathas warred over, and they were the ones who were patrons of this art form also. And then this moved on to several other regions. So Tanjavur was one, Madurai was the other center, and Mysore was also one center. But Mysore changed a bit in style and was known as Mysore paintings. And also during the British rule and the Europeans which ruled that region, uh, the art form changed to a little bit of European styles. And for a very short period, though, and it was started to be called as company painting. This is for all those who are a little uninitiated in this format. I personally possess some of the exquisite, very old antiquities in the form of these paintings at my home. and rather large size, 6 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet kind of paintings is what I possess. A couple of them, which are very, very beautiful and piece of art. But happy to learn that the Tejas School, along with Gayatri and others, have chosen this subject to initiate people in this art form and talking about the rich heritage, both in terms of material value and, of course, far more in terms of human value. Uh, they've chosen to make people familiar with this art form and also engage with the youth, which is less initiated in our history, in the ethos. So very, very glad to be here. And I, I'm sorry for all the confusion that happened. We'd kept this for 10:30 because 11 o'clock the parliament starts. But I chose to come to the office to do this, and I'll probably have to rush through my address also. Thank you for having me over and giving me an opportunity to express myself. Grateful to all, and more grateful to all of you for picking up the subject and familiarizing the people at large with the subject also. Thank you very, very much. Jai Hind.